I've missed you all this overlong year. Yes, it's me, Father Winter, your seasonal host, to welcome and try to cheer you up on this, the longest solstice night for our big midwinter celebration. But sorry, it's just, I'm not feeling it like I usually do. It's been a rough year. It's been the road warrior versus the Manchurian candidate. And you probably don't need me to tell you that. And, well, it's just a challenging time for all of us. And I know I'm letting you down tonight, and I just can't channel that full-throated, cheery Father Winter. Oh, it's too much pressure, putting on the happy face, having to be the one who cheers everyone up, trying to distract from the cold and the dark, and by promising warmth and light, and that's just around the corner, right? Well, prancing plague rats, the darkness this year, I just don't think I can do it. Truth be told, it is fun doing solstice every year. I enjoy being up here on the stage in the spotlight with the decorated trees, the sparkle all around, and the squeal of the children, and excitement in the air, and of course the music and the mumming, and it's all good. So maybe I shouldn't whine too much about the pressure. But this, it's unnerving. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice to be back in the building, and it's been a long, long time. And yeah, it's not quite right. So much is missing. No luminaries to greet us at the entrance, and it's almost spooky looking downstairs. And the dining room, it's bare, and there's no wonderful smells wafting from the kitchen. I tell you, it's Groundhog Day meets The Shining. You know, up here, there are some decorations, which is nice. But where are all the twinkling lights and the evergreen garland and the white poinsettias? How can it be that the hall is empty? The audience is gone. The merry minstrels, who knows? They're on street corners playing for nickels. And in here, just a handful of singers. No antics by the mummers and no racks of desserts for later. Oh. Of course, the winter solstice has always been a time of hope, a time to remember that the darkness doesn't last forever. The light does come back. So we feast, we sing, we have our revelry, our Yule fire. But you know what? We can sing and dance or not sing and dance. It doesn't matter. The earth continues on its way around the sun to eventually bring us more light and warmth. And you know, that axial tilt thingamajig, it ain't rocket science, folks. Well, all right, maybe it is rocket science, but it's just as effective for me to sit here in an empty auditorium and babble like a brook into the camera, as far as all the hoopla that we make every solstice. I know, it's bringing the party down, but of all the years I've been doing this, I just don't remember darkness like this. The pandemic, the politics, fires here, hurricanes there, and what the heck is a derecho anyway? I just can't shake the feeling that this time the darkness is way darker than usual. Sorry, folks, no party this year. But let's go viral, not go virus. That's the point.
OMG. Great way to kick things off, Father Winter. Wow, maybe it's time for you to throw in the tunic and turn over the mic. Good evening, friends. I'm so sorry that you had to put up with that sad sack Winter. Boo-hoo-hoo. Oh, excuse me. Have we not met? My apologies. Let me introduce myself. Krampus here, that infamous midwinter ogre of ancient lore. I don't expect too many of you to know me. My cousins and I were big back in Europe way back when, but we never quite made it to America until recently. Now, with the resurgence of my popularity back home, I thought it was time to expand my reach. The way I see it, this holiday season has been completely taken over by that sugary, sappy Santa Claus who just goes around the world squeezing his rotund body down chimneys to leave presents for good little boys and girls. Isn't that just adorable? Well, let me tell you, folks, that's only half the story. You see, Santa represents the carrot approach to life. Be good, and you get presents, which is a total indulgence. But I, my friends, am the stick, literally. Back in the day, I was well known for keeping my own list, with a definite emphasis on naughty rather than nice. And do you know what I'd do? I would follow St. Nick, or Father Christmas, or whatever jolly old fellow was in vogue at the time, and hunt down those bad little boys and girls. And get this, I'd hit them with my switch. Now, obviously, those were the days before liability insurance. But come on, it wasn't that bad. My switch was only made of birch branches. No real damage done. Let me tell you, I was a real asset to parents everywhere. At some point, everybody's got to learn life isn't just a bundle of toys or a bowl of cherries. How times have changed. Nowadays, I have to settle for just making mischief, while Santa makes his rounds at all those holiday bazaars and markets, teaching the children to be greedy little buggers. I still do my part and give them a bit of a scare and ruffle the hair on a few heads. Yep, that's all you'll get from me these days, while everyone else is looking for more stuff, more fun, more goodies. So much excess. And nobody is satisfied. And Father Winter, even he has taken to whining. Like, how dark is it? Really? It's winter. Your season, Father Winter. But you know what? The winter solstice, that's my day. Mine. When the night reigns. So much deep, beautiful darkness. Forget the festivities, all that consumerism and holly jolly. I say, get back to a simpler time. Embrace the darkness like the ancestors did. After all, nighttime can be freeing. You can really see the awesome, crystalline stars in the dark, dark sky and contemplate the universe and your role in it. When it's dark out, people let their guard down and bare their souls to one another. And after dark, you can go out to the recycling bin wearing socks and sandals without being judged. Here's the deal. When we look around the world or even into ourselves, we will always find darkness. It's a fact of life. The darkness is not some sort of hurdle to jump over or some mythic beast to slay. Darkness is a thing of beauty. It's like a heavy, warm quilt we snuggle into. Darkness invites us to turn inward a bit, to reflect, and as they say, to recharge and renew. Surely you've seen the yin and yang symbol, half black, half white, round and round, in one big circle. That represents our whole selves, the naughty and the nice, the lover and the hater, the darkness and the light. It's all in here. And we live it in the cycle of every day, night to day, day to night, and of course, through the cycle of the seasons, spring to summer, to fall and winter, dark to light, light to dark, round and round again. So don't mope around about it like that old man Winter. Celebrate this darkest time. Revel in it. Today, the darkest day of them all. Go on then. Savor the darkness. It doesn't last forever. Nothing does. So hey, let's get outdoors and have some fun.
Did you hear that guy? He wants you all to just party all night, when critters like me are trying to get some long-awaited shut-eye. Yeah, I'm a bit cranky. Nobody likes a cranky bear, let me tell you, including sometimes us bears. But I don't want to tell tales out of school. I'm yawning and cranky and tired, oh so very tired. It's nearly impossible to get any good sleep around here. I crack a window, I fluff my pillows, but no luck. And you can only drink so much chamomile tea, to be honest. Why can't I sleep? Thanks for asking. I can't sleep because people are everywhere, running around in the woods, carrying on. They just won't shut up. I mean, I don't want to draw a lot of attention to myself. I just want to find a nice cave, something like that, and curl up for a few months. It's not complicated. It's not like I stroll into Macy's and plop myself down on a sofa display or something. I just want to be left alone to get some rest. But no. Every time I turn around, there's some people in the woods. There's so many people wandering around, and for some reason they all keep 6 feet apart. They just yell and yell back and forth all the time. Who can sleep with a racket like that going on? Sometimes they bring food and flavored waters with them. They toss their wrappers, bottles, and garbage all over the place. And you know, I'm not proud of this, but sometimes a smell of, say, a donut or maybe a Three Musketeers bar can get distracting for a bear trying to bulk up for the winter. So, I have to go check that out. Oh, and don't get me started on their plastics. My best friend Hal got his head stuck in a bucket. And he was wandering around, walking blind into tree trunks. It really was not a pretty sight. Getting him out of that mess took quite some doing, let me tell you. When people leave their garbage around, eventually someone ends up like Hal. People. Rrr. Rrr. Now there's some darkness for you. That's only one example of what people are doing to the environment. Every time I turn around, they're lopping off parts of my forest or driving packs of machines in here to drill for oil or rip up and carry away my favorite trees. Or better yet, they build houses in the forest and then insist that we bears are the problem and have to be driven away. Oh, and heaven help if there's a fire. Who could possibly foresee that when you mess with the climate, trees could dry up and catch fire? Not them, apparently. But then it happens, and their precious houses get burned. Boo-hoo-hoo. What about my house? We animals are losing our homes too, our habitat. How much can people do to the environment before the natural world just can't recover? And what will happen to us bears? Oh, I just got kind of dark there. Okay, really dark. I told you I was crabby. Lack of sleep will do that to you. That's where I think Krampus is wrong. That sort of darkness is not to be celebrated. I'm telling you, it will lead to despair. You can't give up hope, or it will pull you down beyond the point of no return. Maybe that's why I'm craving some actual darkness, because on a practical level, it helps me sleep. That's why I like the caves, warm and dark. This is what happens when I don't get my sleep. I worry. I wish there was something I could do to get to sleep. What's a bear to do? Maybe I'll focus on my breathing. Slow, deep breaths. And count the hoots of that owl. Oh, for a good winter's rest.
Hey, Bear, thanks for the shout out. We critters have really got to stick together, or those people are gonna get the better of us. And being a night owl myself, I hear you about appreciating the darkness. People just don't understand how you can actually see more clearly in the dark. No wonder we owls are so well esteemed and associated with wisdom. Since ancient times, images of my ancestors have been all over the Egyptian pyramids. And in Greece, owls were a symbol of Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Those were the days. The Greeks had a true love of knowledge, and it showed. Of course, they weren't perfect, and their wisdom didn't save them from being taken over by the Romans. And then the Romans took a fall, and with them, so much wisdom lost. Well, hidden, actually, during those centuries you humans like to call the Dark Ages. Now that was just bad messaging, misleading information. The Dark Ages? Really? The planet kept circling round the sun from day to night and night to day, turning with its axial tilt, season after season, like it had always done. Clearly, you can count on the laws of physics for equal amounts of darkness and light without fail. Yin and yang. Well, the Chinese got that right eons ago. And owls have always gotten along just fine in the dark. Thank you very much. It's a good thing the Egyptians, Turks, and Persians picked up the slack from the Europeans, kept building on the wisdom from all the ancestors. Eventually, the Europeans wised up again and used all that knowledge to start inventing some pretty clever devices to study the stars even better and the Earth itself. They figured out the planet had been here for billions of years and began looking deep into the reaches of space and studied biology, chemistry, physics, and even dark matter. It warms my gizzard. But now it looks like the world is going haywire again, back to superstition and dogma. Why do people prefer to believe those nonsense conspiracy theories rather than actual facts and data? How can anyone believe that a secret underground network of pseudoscientists made up a virus so that Bill Gates or Hillary Clinton or George Soros or, I don't know, Beaver Cleaver can secretly control people from their underground lair? Really? It boggles the mind and ruffles my feathers. Knowledge doesn't go dark. It might be harder to see, especially if you're looking in the wrong places. But there's wisdom to be found everywhere, even in the dark, if you alert your senses to it. Depends on what you need to know, and whether you're sticking to reality or not. That's the science of it. The eyes that have helped humans see and uncover more and more through the centuries. Better than those gods and superstitions you people dreamt up so long ago. Let me tell you, Athena never saved anybody. For the Greeks, not knowing something was like being in the dark. They wanted to see like an owl. Hence, we owls became the symbol of wisdom and associated with Athena. But folks, you've got to understand, you're on your own here. There is no god or goddess of wisdom to help you get through these tough times. And I can't do it for you. I've always been happy to be your symbol of wisdom, but it's going to take more than metaphor to make a better day. Like true knowledge and real science. I can't give you my eyes, but just like so many of your ancestors did before you, you've got to light those candles and hold them high to see your way through the darkness, to bring the wisdom and well-being for the world into the light, for all to see. Now I ask you, who will be that beacon in the night? Who will hold up that light? Who? Who? Who?
I am the light that bursts through the darkness, a beacon of wisdom and the light of truth, the lamp of compassion and a candle of hope. Take heart, my friends, this solstice night. The seasons will always turn. The clouds will gather, the cold will come. We will survive this. We will grow regardless of the weather. We will know wonder where there has been despair. There will be happiness, and we will remember it. There will be friendships, which we won't forget. Love is the constant whereby we endure all winters and all storms. It is the climate in which all things can thrive. Welcome the darkness. Embrace it as a canopy from which the stars can hang, for there are always stars when we are where we ought to be. Amongst the faces we love best, each with our place, each with our purpose, as fixed and familiar as the constellations. Oh, the darkness is beautiful. For how else can we shine? So, what say you, Father Winter? Come, surely you can tell us what the season forces us to know. Joy and hope shine despite the night. We measure warmth by love, not by luster.
Here I am, crabbed old fellow, rarely merry and hardly mellow. This darkest season with cold and snow, but what will keep my heart aglow? Kinfolk, near, both old and young, by candlelight to gaze among. With my friends, I've learned to Zoom. We can fill a virtual room. These, all merry, all together, charm away chill winter weather. So, what will cheer this dull old fellow? Well, ale that's bright and wine that's mellow. Classic reruns, forever new. Favorite foods and laughter too. Pleasant wit and harmless fun, a book to read when day is done. Furry friends with me abide, remembered love by fireside. I'll hold these joys within my heart. I'm Father Winter, I'll do my part.
Though the darkness is our companion, this is not a time of despair. A single candle can dispel the darkness. A single voice can sing a song. That's how it begins. With each and every one of us spreading our own light to make a brighter world. A world where wisdom and science are valued, where the environment is protected, where compassion is embraced and justice enshrined. And the darkness may wax or wane, but it will never overtake us. The light always comes back, and whether we are all together or scattered across the land, when people care enough to share that light, to shine that light, to be that light, the world will be a better place. And so this midwinter solstice night, wherever you are, near or far, alone or among friends, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And let's sing a song we all can sing. Hold high the candle that you bring. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in.